Hello, hello, and welcome to For Book's Sake. My name is Heather Roberts.
And I am Veronica Adams, and together we are at least part of the 1852 media team.
And that's true. Yeah, I mean, there's more to us than just the two of
I know.
us.
I always say we are 1852 media, but I mean, frankly, I've been lying on every episode of the podcast we've recorded so far because it's more than just you and me.
It is. It is. We have Jackie,
We do, who
who
we
is
adore.
we adore her. She's an account manager. She's an administrative assistant. She's your virtual assistant. She
Yes.
wears many hats, and she's very organized and very good at what she
Yes.
does.
She is our Girl Friday, our right hand
Yes.
woman. I don't know. We could describe her so many ways.
Jackie is amazing,
Yeah.
and every author that she works with, I get so much good feedback from them. Just like Jackie saved my life, like I will
Yeah.
never,
Yes.
And yeah, we love Jackie. We adore her. She listens to our podcast because she listens to hear what we have to say, and
Hey,
I don't think
Jack.
we've never mentioned her before, so and she doesn't always love like overt praise like that. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes,
She's
she's
very
not a limelight
humble.
seeker, if you will. Yes,
Yes,
very,
she's very
very humble.
yeah. So she's probably blushing profusely. We love you, Jackie. You are the
Yes, we do.
best. So enjoy. Let this sink in. Is what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Accept it.
Yep,
And then we have Mikey, who's my
of course.
husband,
Can't
and
forget him.
he does a lot of our strategy and pushing us forward into the future and helping us with
Yes.
technology.
He's like a
And
business manager, coach, and
yes,
guru, and I mean, yeah,
yeah,
intellectual partner for sure.
absolutely. And also helping with business, a different outreach to different
Yep,
industries. When we move into
yes,
different industries, he takes the lead on some of that stuff. And then we also have my son Jesse has started to
yep.
work with us, and it is a true family business over here.
It really is.
Jesse's been doing a lot of our administrative work for the business, and he
Mhm.
just went with me to the conference.
Yep.
And we have a potential new client coming up that, if we get it, he's going to be very actively involved in that
Yeah.
with some photography. It's a local business here in
Real
Vermont where I
hands-on learning
live.
opportunity for him. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we do when you're dealing with a local business, a brick and mortar, if you will, it's a lot
Yes.
different than dealing with an online presence,
Right.
without a brick and mortar. So
Right.
there are different pieces that we would offer that we don't offer, obviously, to
Yeah.
virtual clients. So he'll be really in charge of, the photography and the marketing portion of that. So really looking forward to that. He's psyched about it too. So
Awesome.
crossing fingers that
Mhm.
happens, and we can integrate that. But yeah, that's the team right
Yes, that
now.
is the big picture look at who 1852 Media really is,
Yeah, it's
outside
more
of the
than.
2 talking heads here today.
But then there's us.
That's right.
There's always us.
That's
But
right.
has everyone felt like this week has been a year? I mean,
Oh my god. Like, this was the longest week of my life by Tuesday.
yeah,
By Tuesday, I was already feeling like, "Oh, holy cow." It's I mean, energy, I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. Rolling into the end of summer,
Right? The season's
the
getting ready to
seasons.
change, like,
Mm-hmm.
we're in a transition phase that way, I don't know.
It's
The
weird.
astrology girlies can tell us what's going on. The I don't know. Maybe we should consult Witch Talk or something.
Yeah.
Something in
I
the
mean,
air.
there's good. I feel like there's good energy in the air. I
Hmm.
do. But it's just felt like a lot,
For
like
sure.
a lot, all at
Well,
once.
it's like
All of a
um,
sudden.
there are some things that feel really good, and then there are some things that feel not so great.
Yeah.
Like. It's like, I don't know, wading through molasses with the sun shining down on you or something, right? Like, it's a
Yeah.
really nice
Yeah.
day. It's really pretty to look at, but also I'm not moving very fast over here.
Yep.
Um,
So if you're feeling like that too,
Very
we
weird
got you.
headspace. Yeah,
You are not alone. It has
for
been a
sure.
weird week for that.
Yes.
Definitely moments of joy, but then also moments of how is this
Mhm.
taking 20 100 years to get
Right?
done?
right?
and you just feel like you're not moving forward. So,
Yeah. Well, but I think we are, all of us, even
oh
if
yeah, we
we don't
are.
feel it. I mean, look at you. Um, Heather is entering local politics. Like,
I am. I
I'm
am.
so proud of her. And she probably
Yeah,
would not bring it up if I didn't mention it,
I
but
would
like,
not.
right?
It's
No, well,
fine.
I mean,
It's fine.
it's
I'm
not
very open about it.
it's not a big deal, right? Like you're just
No.
getting involved to meet the need. There's a need in your community for
Yes.
candidates for a very basic and
Not massive time commitment thing.
well, right. And I don't understand if the position is political or if you're just filling the need the community has for this particular type of person who does
Yeah.
government and community service. And
So, okay,
party
so
affiliation is really not a big deal in this particular situation.
no, I mean, so the position itself, we have to run on a party ticket.
Yeah,
However, the actual position itself is not. I mean, it's not really political in nature.
right.
We will be, checking people in as they come in to vote and doing some election counting.
Yeah,
And then we also listen to if people have questions or really more gripes, let's be honest,
sure.
about their assessment, their property, real
Oh, yeah,
property
yeah, yeah.
assessment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We would be the board that hears that. It's not. It's a board of people. It's not
Right.
just like one position. It's a group of people.
You mean you're not going to
Um,
be giving like amnesty to taxpayers who want their bills
no,
reduced?
no.
Their arrearages forgiven.
And yeah, and sometimes mistakes happen, right? Like sometimes your house gets assessed in a wonky way.
Yeah.
So that's the board. I would be on the board that helps to,
Make
hear
those
that.
adjustments and hear those cases. Yeah.
Yes. And then we also would be able to marry people. So I can marry people and sign the marriage certificate. I'm
Awesome.
running as justice of the peace for my small town.
Yeah.
And those are the tasks. It's very different in every different town. So you'll hear justice
Sure.
of the peace for different places, and they have different tasks assigned with it,
Mhm.
assigned to it.
Yeah.
That is what I was told. this that my small town,
Yeah.
that those are the duties for my small town. So that's my expectation. And I love that. I love that I will be able to marry people in a civil ceremony.
Mhm.
And I think that's really, really neat.
And
And it's,
I think it's great that you're getting involved grassroots, local level, like just
yeah,
stepping into a position that your community needs filled.
they need people.
Mhm.
And, if not me, who, right?
Right.
I'm in a position where my son's about to go off to college,
Yeah.
which frees up some time from, you know, parenting responsibilities, daily parenting responsibility. You are forever a parent, but daily parenting
That depends on who you
responsibilities.
ask, but yes.
Yeah, well, here we are always a parent.
Yes, you will always be a
And
parent, of
yes.
course.
So I had some, a little bit of free time, not a lot, and this
Yeah.
didn't seem like a massive time commitment. They said they heard two assessment issues last year, so I'm not expecting a massive, you
No,
know,
no big workload
calendar,
here. Yeah.
right? And it's something that I can give back to my community, get to know people in my
Mhm.
community, learn about, who is running the town now and how it runs, and if there's other positions in the future that I could be
Sure.
interested in, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's a nice way to dip your toe in. So if you are thinking about going out and getting involved in your community, you should check that out. Look at the
Yes.
different positions that are available,
Mhm.
because not every, that was my concern. I was like, oh my God, I don't know any, like,
Yeah.
I have a degree in political science, but that doesn't mean that I know how my town is run, right? Like,
Yes.
so if you're nervous about getting involved, try to go and talk to your local community members, your local caucuses,
Yep.
whoever is in
Go to
charge of
a
that.
party meeting or a city
Yeah,
council meeting, a local government meeting, school
and get
board
involved.
meeting. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
Get involved and find out how you can help. And it might be as filling a position like this that is needed. Because if they don't get enough people, then the board has less people on it, and that's not
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So if you do have an issue and you want to bring it up in front of the board, you don't want a board that has empty seats on it.
Mhm.
You want enough people to be able to give it, the thought that is required.
Right.
So
Right.
Anyway, look at your community and see how you can give back if you have the
For
time to be able to
sure.
do that. And don't forget to get out and vote.
Yes.
Period. That
Yeah.
is our message.
Check your
Get
registration.
involved.
Make sure you're registered and get out there and do it.
Yes,
Yep.
get involved, and get out and vote.
For sure.
So yeah, it'll be fun. I made T-shirts.
That part
So
I'm so excited for.
of course I did. Listen, this is so like I said, there are 12 spots available, and
Mhm.
I'm not sure there are more than 12 people running on both
Right. This,
for
this may be an
all
automatic
party
pass for
ticket.
you, an uncontested election, if
Right.
you will.
This might be an uncontested election. Unclear yet. I'll find out soon. I'll find out on the 16th how many people are actually running
Yeah.
for this position.
Right.
But there are 12 slots available. The likelihood of electability is high
Yes.
here. And yeah, but I still made T-shirts because I've not been on this board. I've not gotten
Girl,
involved before, so I want to get involved, right? I need name recognition.
you are a retired student government member and a sorority
Sorority,
alumna.
sorority
If you
alumna.
weren't making t-shirts, we would revoke your card for both of those things. Like,
True. It's
it's
true.
mandatory. You cannot be, you know, sorority alumna and former
Yeah.
student government kid and not be out there doing the mostest for your campaign. Your campaign, air quotes
Right.
campaign.
My campaign. My campaign is going to consist of my brother wearing one of these T-shirts as he works at our local community corner store.
I love that.
So and he's wearing it on Saturday, so that'll be great. That's
You've
my
already got
campaigning.
you've already got a movement embedded on the ground, girl. Like you were ready to go.
I'm ready to go. So yeah, go get involved. Go get
I love
involved in
it.
your community. But
Yeah.
I mean, and that sort of tangentially relates to marketing.
Well, what is
As
a
you can
campaign?
tell,
It's
as you could
marketing.
right, as you could tell, we have had a week and we don't really have a huge topic to talk about today. We actually do have some things that we were going to talk about, but
Yep.
you know, this is where we are. But yeah, campaigns are marketing, and it's really interesting. You can watch the campaigns as the national campaigns that I'm sure you have not missed because
Well, you can't unless
you
you are
cannot miss
yeah,
them. Yeah.
unless you are both visually and hearing impaired. There's no way that the campaigns have escaped your attention. The national presidential campaigns. Yeah.
So you can just watch them from a marketing perspective, put on your marketing
Hmm.
glasses and see what are they doing, what is each side doing, because it is marketing.
For
That
sure.
is 100% marketing. The fonts that are used, the
Hmm.
words that are said, the strategy and the positioning, it's all
Yes.
marketing.
Yeah.
It's all marketing. So, but yeah, we were going to talk also today about a movie that's coming out. I think
Oh
today,
my
right? Doesn't the
gosh.
movie come out
Yes.
today?
It's like
It,
this is like the event of Romancelandia for
it
the
really
entire
is.
year. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not since the debut of Bridgerton on Netflix has Romancelandia been this abuzz about something.
Yeah. It Ends With Us is out in
Yes.
theaters today.
Coho represents.
Yes, Blake Lively is featured in the
Yes.
film, which I mean is amazing. The
Taylor's
fact that
BFF,
the
Mrs.
fact that
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
Like, how can you be
Reynolds,
mad
yeah,
at that casting?
it's amazing.
I know.
I mean, the fact that we are, I'm now like what, 2 degrees of separation from Ryan Reynolds.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I
It's
love
wild.
it. It's wild. We've just shrunk. Um,
Yeah.
that's what I think about. Love Ryan. Love Blake Lively. I think they're
Yeah.
hilarious together. I
Mhm.
mean, the two of them. But I saw some interviews that Ryan did to help promote the movie,
Yeah.
and it's just so great how he,
Supports
really
her.
supports his wife, yeah,
Yeah.
and screams from the rooftops how much he loves her. It's great. But yeah, the movie is out today. And this is, the book itself was controversial.
Hugely
Hugely
controversial. Oh
controversial.
my god, I remember you
Oh my God.
I remember when it first came out, when it was first released, and everybody was just going absolutely nuts over it in
Yeah.
both good and bad ways.
Right.
Like, and it has retained its hot button quality all
Yes.
these years. Like, you either really loved it or it just was not for you.
Correct.
I've
Correct.
not met or run into many people who have felt somewhat in the middle of those two positions on the
Yeah.
book.
Correct. I actually I own a signed copy
I
of the
know you
book.
do. First
Um,
first edition, right?
I believe so, yes. I've never read the book. This is terrible. I mean, I own a signed copy because a friend of mine was going to a signing where Colleen was going to be and
Yes.
asked if I wanted a copy. And I said, absolutely,
Of
yes,
course I do.
100%.
Right.
Of course I do.
Yeah.
And so she got it for me. Thank you so much, Lauren. That was so kind of you. And I now have it, and I just have it. It's been on my bookshelf, and I just haven't read it. Also, because I've read many Colleen books, and they all make me cry, like
You
ugly
have to be
cry.
well, and you are
Yeah,
not by nature uh extroverted in your emotional nature, so like
right.
you
I'm
have
not
to be in the right
emotive.
headspace for a good cry book.
Yes, I have to book a whole day if I'm going to get, like, truly. I have to book a day where I'm not doing anything, and unfortunately those days just haven't really happened.
Yeah,
Um, where I can read this book and get in my feels, because
right.
I know that's what's going to happen. I'm going to
Yeah,
ugly sob, and then it puts me in this wonky headspace for a little bit.
right.
Um, and so I have to prepare for that, and that's just me. That I know that
Yeah.
about myself. So I have not yet
Meanwhile,
read
I
it.
tell a joke and I'm crying, like literally
Yeah.
right now. So like,
Oh my
yeah, we
God. Right.
we are not the same, you and I.
No, no, it takes a lot for me. I don't know. I'm just not very emotive. I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Call it, RBF, whatever.
Well,
It's just, yeah.
we can't
I
be the
have
same person in every
emotions.
aspect.
Yeah. I have emotions. They're there. I feel things very deeply. I just don't always emote them.
They're
So,
simmering under the surface,
yeah, they're
and
there.
that's just you. That's totally cool. But
Yeah,
yeah, the whole point being that a Colleen read is absolutely tissues required. I don't think I've ever
100%.
read any of Colleen's books and not needed some tissues at some point during the process. Like it's
Yeah.
just you're gonna
I
get
mean,
great
slammed,
storytelling, but
sobbed.
yes, but
Yeah.
also you're really gonna have a maybe even a catharsis, honestly, like depending on
Yeah.
which book you pick and who you are and you know
She
how you
evokes
respond to that
emotion.
stuff. For
She
sure.
she evokes emotion. Whether
For
you love
sure.
that or you hate it, she evokes emotion.
Yeah.
And that to me is the mark of a very talented
Hmm.
author. And that's why she's done so well, because she
Agreed.
does evoke emotion.
Yep.
And Ends with Us absolutely does that. It evokes emotion. So I generally know what the story is about. Like,
Yes.
spoilers have occurred since the book has come out, obviously, and I'm fine with that. Like, it is what it is. But I've heard that the movie is fantastic. That it's a great representation of the book, which
So
doesn't
early
always happen.
responses that the adaptation is actually like a really good fit with the
Yeah,
novel.
yeah, which is
That's
great.
honestly unusual, you know,
Very
here in
unusual.
book world, the idea that the movie was better or just as good is almost sacrilegious or blasphemous. I
I,
mean,
and the book is always better.
the book is always better.
Always. And as a general rule, of course, the book is always
Mhm.
better, because you can just, there's so much more detail you can put into a book
Sure.
that doesn't translate into
Sure.
film. You can do, internal dialogue in your own head and the characters' heads and all of that
Yeah.
that doesn't translate always to film. So,
Right.
of course, the book's always better. But yeah, this one apparently translates really well to film. They did a great job. They did change some things that I did see people were like a little up in
Hmm.
arms about, and all that. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But you have to, like, in order to make a film work, you have to
Hmm.
change certain things. But for the most part, I've heard positive reviews, and
Yeah, me too.
everyone that saw it at Book Bonanza
Loved it.
loved it.
Yeah.
That at least that I've spoken to. So yeah, it's a really big
Well,
deal.
okay, but if you didn't love it, would you be like to Blake Lively's face, like, nah, this wasn't that great? Like,
No, but I feel like in private conversations you would have,
yes,
yeah,
no, of course, no. The
that's,
the Whisper Network would have let slip that this was problematic or it just wasn't that
yeah,
great. Like we would eventually have heard it through the
yeah, through the
rumor mill.
grapevine.
Yes.
with our ears to the ground as they
Yeah,
are, I would have heard
indeed.
about it. But yeah, everyone's saying that they really enjoyed it. What I liked this week on social media is that people in Romancelandia on Facebook changed their profile pictures to them and Colleen Hoover. So if you
Yes.
had a photo of you and
Yes.
Colleen from over the past,
Mhm.
years, people were changing their profile pictures to that, as a temporary picture. And
Yeah.
it was so heartwarming. And she came on and she made a post and she's like, because it was totally unprompted. It's not like people
Yeah.
told people to do this. One person did it and then it just sort of, rolled,
Domino effect. Yeah.
domino effect. And she came on and just said, like, how, like, overwhelmingly
Mhm.
wonderful that was to her. Like,
Yeah.
she was just verklempt
Yeah.
over that because it was such an outpouring of love and support to her.
Well, I have never met Colleen, but I have also never heard a truly horrible thing about her either.
Yeah,
You know, everybody has different experiences and everybody has different moods on different days. And
yeah,
I've heard entitled people complaining about maybe she wasn't what they thought she was supposed to be at one event or another. But I have never heard a genuinely bad thing about Colleen. Like she's just
same,
I think, you know, from
same.
observation only, a really good human. Like and deserving of the support.
I'm pretty sure I had to have been at an event with her at some point.
There is no doubt in my mind that you've met her at some point.
I feel like I probably have. I don't remember. If I did meet her, it was back in 2006 or 2016, sorry.
Yeah.
When I was going to a whole lot of conventions.
Yes.
2016, 2017.
Yes.
I ran the circuit a couple times, it felt. So I was going to a lot. It is very possible I met her at that point. I
Yeah.
don't or at least was at the same event with her, but I don't have a photo with her and I don't recall meeting her. But same, I have heard nothing but amazing things about Colleen, how she's just, she's a kind person. I
Yeah.
love her story. I love how she started writing, and I love how humble she stayed throughout
Mhm.
her success. She's really a down to earth person. She
Yes.
jokes around a lot. She, obviously is very successful now, but has not really seemed to change much in personality, and
Mhm.
that's lovely to see. I think her family keeps her very grounded, which is
Yeah.
wonderful. So it's cool to see. We love you, Colleen. We are thrilled for your success.
Yes.
I mean,
Love
it's
seeing this
great.
happen.
Love
Love
seeing it
seeing this
happen.
happen. Yeah.
And this is honestly, I mean, there's been other things. Bridgerton, obviously
Oh
huge
my
with
god,
Julia
yeah.
Quinn and all of that.
Well,
Um,
and how unique it has been in terms of
excuse me.
Netflix's adaptation and the production value and being uh inclusive and representative with the casting,
Yeah, I mean, they
you
changed the
know.
story there too, and
Yep.
people had thoughts. Um, but it's going to happen
Yeah.
with these things. The Idea of You by Robin Lee,
Yes.
that has also been adapted recently. What else? And then obviously 50,
Oh, well, of
that was
course. I
the
mean,
that was
EL,
the big
the
thing.
queen, right?
The
Like,
Queen, yes. And
yes.
E.L. James, I have met. I have met her and spoken to her and hung out with her, and she is a lovely human
I
being.
will not share what you were doing when you hung out with her, but I will say I remember distinctly the night you texted me to tell me that you had hung out with her, and I was like, "No fucking way!" Like it was just so
Yeah,
cool. I mean, it
it
was
was
She's
very.
a rock star.
Erica
She's a
is a
rock
rock
star.
star. She's so nice.
Mhm.
I have no bad words to say about her.
Yeah,
She's a very nice
yeah,
human being. And yeah, very cool. Very cool. That was back in, I don't know, 2017, something like that.
16 or 17.
16,
Yeah. Well,
17, yeah.
I met her with you at RT in
Oh,
17. I
right,
think it was
right.
the last RT.
Yeah.
So
And we had met her before that.
yeah,
Yeah, before that. So, yeah, very cool.
yep,
Fun times had by all. But yeah,
yeah,
that's why we love going to these conventions too. Also because, you sometimes you build relationships with authors, not saying I have a relationship with ELTs, but
Right,
it's like
right.
other authors, and then they do blow up and they become these big, and it's really cool to be like, I met them when, right? And it's the
Yeah.
same feeling with music artists when you see
Mhm.
people posting stuff with like Chappell Roan, for example, like, you
Yes.
know, seeing her at this small little thing, you know, a year or two
Mhm.
ago, and now she's playing these huge things. It's
And now
the
Midwest
same.
princesses are everything.
Right. Exactly. It's the same feeling. It's just like you
Yeah.
feel so proud to have been a part of that journey. Like you're just so
Right.
proud of their success and
I knew them when.
yeah, and it's cool. And that's why you go to these book signing events,
Yeah.
right? But adaptations are great. You know, everybody's going to always have
Mhm.
criticisms about whatever, but as a whole, I love film adaptations. And I love that people are going, apparently, this grossed really, really well,
Yeah.
or is grossing really, really well so far, which is great because that means that we'll get
They'll do
more.
more of them.
Yeah. And so if
Yes.
you show up at
The
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 theater,
book to film market doesn't just belong to Reese Witherspoon and her production company that she
right,
siphons IP off of from her book club.
correct. It
Not that
doesn't
there's
just,
anything wrong with any of the film adaptations that she's been responsible for producing,
no,
but
no,
like
but we
the
need
romance community is
variety.
still I think underrepresented here.
It
Significantly
absolutely is.
underrepresented.
And there's so many good
Mhm.
stories that could be
Yeah.
translated to screen.
Well, and Passion Flix is out here hustling,
Mhm.
trying to really make a dent in the market and provide more options for book to film,
Yes.
um, which is great. But other avenues, I think, still lacking in terms of
Right.
seeing romance books
Series
represented
and
on the
yeah,
screen. Yeah.
exactly.
Although
There's
we didn't talk about Virgin River, which
oh,
I do
true.
believe one of your favorites.
One of my favorites. I do love Virgin River.
She gifted me a copy of Virgin River years ago. That's how much she loves it.
I
'Cause I
love
had
Robin
I had
Carr.
never read Robin Carr. I mean, and this is years
I
ago. I had never read Robin Carr, and you were like, "Oh my god, what is wrong with you?" So the next
I
thing I know, the
binged
Kindle
those
copy
books.
shows up in my inbox.
Yeah. I binged that series in a very unhealthy way, I think. I don't know.
Yes, you were
Um,
obsessed.
I was obsessed. Obsessed.
Mhm.
I I read those all of the books in a very short period of
Yeah.
time. Very short period of time.
You know what? I
I
have
love
not
them.
watched the Netflix series. Have you?
I watched a little bit of the first season.
Okay. What did you think?
Um,
Being someone who really was invested in the
okay.
books.
It's good. It's good. I
Okay.
have this problem. This is a me problem. This is not the
Mhm.
series problem.
Yeah.
If I have read the book
Mhm.
and then I watch the film, movie, whatever,
Yeah.
I struggle. I struggle because I will never, in my head, it is something different than is always portrayed on
Yes.
screen.
Yes.
And I know
Yes.
that objectively.
Mhm.
But for me, I don't get to enjoy, I can't enjoy the film or the TV or
The
whatever. I can't enjoy the
differences.
show because of the differences, because my brain
Yeah.
is constantly battling back and
Mhm.
forth. So while
Yes.
I might slightly enjoy it, I can't fully immerse myself and enjoy it in the way that I would had I not read the
Right.
books.
Now, if I can do it in reverse and be just fine.
I
If I
can do
see
it
the
in
movie
reverse.
and then read
Yes.
the book, no
Yep.
problem. But if I've read the
Yep.
book and then I'm going to watch the movie, I tend to walk away at least partially dissatisfied
Yeah.
because I have the same experience. It's a different story in my head and the
Yes.
details are all there because I read the book and then it's the
It
adaptation is just never a reflection of
it
what was in my
always
mind because
falls
I'm
flat.
not right, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
It no matter even it could be great. It could other
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh, it's amazing." To me, it always falls flat.
Yeah,
And so that's my struggle. I watched the first little bit of Virgin River and I thought it was good, you know. I think I understand why it was so popular,
yeah,
and why people loved it. And hopefully it got people into reading the books, which are
yeah.
decidedly better. Um,
Well, and I
that's
think
just my
that's true no
opinion.
matter the genre. I don't think this is
Yeah.
just romance either.
Yeah, it's very true. I have to have a long separation from it. I bet if I went and watched Virgin River now, I'd enjoy
Mhm.
it a lot more
Yeah,
because I'm not as close to
Mhm.
having read the books.
Right.
Um,
Like, as a teenager, I went back and read Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park. I mean, we were
yeah.
kids when that movie came out,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, like, the movie was the only thing in my head, but the book is actually, um, I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
And what else have I done? Oh, The Martian, Andy Weir. I
Okay.
watched the movie. Matt Damon, right? Goes to
Mhm.
Mars, right? Um, Movie is so good. If you've never read the book,
I have
I want
not.
I listened to the audiobook actually after having watched the movie.
That
And it is
counts?
so much the story is just there's so much more
Yeah.
to it that they don't have time for in the film is ultimately what it comes down to, right? And it's just not as rich. The experiences are totally different,
Yeah.
The book is
I
always a better
watched
immersion, a better
I wa
immersion.
I watched Twilight before I read the books.
Oh gosh, isn't that where all of this started? Where would we
Yeah,
be without Stephanie Meyer inspiring E.L. James?
I know. But yeah, I watched Twilight before I read the books, and
Stop.
yeah,
You
yeah,
watched the film before you read any of the books?
yes, I did.
Oh girl.
I know, I
Oh no, 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 no,
know.
no. I have a younger sister and a younger sister-in-law. So the books were thrust upon me during a break from law school. And
That
I read
makes
all of
sense.
them
Yeah,
before the movies came out. And yeah, I mean,
but I
I'm
didn't.
glad. I'm glad I read the books before I watched the movies in
Yeah,
that particular series.
I mean, I love the books though. I ended up reading the
Yeah,
books like
that's what
a
I'm
million
saying.
times. Yeah, the
I
books
don't
are better.
I think that's a situation where the movies do not they
Yeah, they
fall
don't.
so short of the books or the
100%.
potential of the books, if
They're
you will.
fun though. They're
Yeah,
fun.
they
I did
are.
enjoy them. I mean, I read Harry Potter so late too because I
I
was
was
never
also
like,
late to the Harry Potter
yeah, I
game.
was very late to the Harry Potter game.
Yeah.
I was later than you guys because you guys
Yeah,
in
you
college
were.
were all about it. I didn't read it till I was after post law
Yeah.
school.
Well, so our little friend circle in college, they were all like long time, like they'd been reading the series basically from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
I came to it while we were in college because of our, I think, freshman year comp class requirement or something. I took a
Oh,
comp class
okay.
that it was children's literature. So
Oh,
among the
sure.
books that we had to read that semester was Harry Potter. And I was like, oh, wow, this is actually better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then I fell into a group of nerds who loved it. And it was like, half of our entire personality for 4 years.
It sure was.
Um, for good reasons. It
Yeah.
was an epic, epic
It
series.
was an epic series.
So, yeah.
I watched from afar as you guys enjoyed all of that, and
Yes.
I don't
I
know why I didn't
remember
pick up
walking away
books.
from several of the movies kind of disappointed though, because
Yeah,
again, the book is just so much more immersive. There's just
yeah.
so much they can't include.
It's true, and so but yeah, I'm glad that this movie, It Ends With
That
Us.
it ends with us as being so well received.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
because of that issue that seems to happen over and over and over, this is being really well received,
Yeah.
and I hope it means more film adaptations of beloved
Yes.
books. And it's
Yes.
so amazing for authors. It can help catapult their careers in a completely different way.
Hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah. I
No,
mean,
I mean,
there's other Colleen books that I hope get turned into movies. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm thinking, Slammed is honestly one of my favorites. It's so
Deep cut.
good. Yeah,
That's a deep cut.
it's a good one.
Yeah.
And I think it would translate so well into film.
Hmm.
So, here's to hoping that happens. I'm going to
Yes, I
manifest
know,
that in the
right?
world for you, Colleen.
Gosh.
And I
Yeah,
feel
but
like that's how a lot of us got into Colleen too, right?
for
It is one
sure.
of her first books that came out.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just been really cool to see the trajectory of her career
Yeah.
when you've been in this industry for so long.
Hmm.
And I try to explain it to people. I'm like, listen, because everybody's like, oh, Colleen's popular. She's a book talk author. And I'm like, friends, before book talk came
What
along,
is with the book talk snobbery? Wait, what?
I know,
When did we become anti book talk?
what? Okay, one, there's no reason to be anti book talk. But two, before book talk, Colleen was still a very successful author in her
Oh my
own right.
god! Like for real?
Like for
Do
real.
people think that book talk made her? No.
Yes.
Like,
I've read articles of people saying that like Book Talk made her. No.
Colleen Hoover would still be wearing a crown at the top of the charts every time she
Yes.
releases a book without Book Talk. Like,
Yes. Did it allow for a brand new group of people to find her?
yes,
100%.
she has expanded her audience as a result of that social media platform.
Yes. But she was not like plucked from obscurity
Yeah.
the way that they make it
For
seem.
real.
Colleen was very successful, rightfully so, before Book Talk
Yes.
even was in existence, because of, it
Why
just
does
cracks me up.
isn't it always so fucking toxic by the time we're all done with it, right? Like,
Because
what is
people
that
like to
about?
think there's like overnight success stories instead of like I've been grinding for 15 years stories.
Right.
Like, which is really the truth.
Yeah.
So, with pretty much everyone.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
So, okay, what did we learn from today? We learned to get involved in our communities.
All campaigns are marketing.
All campaigns are marketing. And let's make more books into movies.
This week on the most eclectic episode of For Book's Sake.
And if you are struggling this week too, no, you are not alone.
Yeah. This episode is definitely a reflection of our energy right now.
It sure is.
But no, like all very valid points, right? Like, get involved locally,
Yep.
See how you can make a difference in your community.
Yep.
All campaigns are marketing. And
Yep.
great book marketing can lead you, I mean, the sky's the limit. You could end up in a Hollywood premiere having a book adapted and led by huge stars. I mean,
huge stars.
Come on. Does it get much bigger than Blake Lively?
It truly does not. I don't think so. A step away from Taylor Swift. I mean, insanity.
Your kids' names get revealed in song lyrics? What?
Yeah.
This is the world Colleen Hoover belongs to, and I love that for her. Like,
love it for her. It's amazing.
So well deserved.
She apparently had 2 cameos, and it ends with us too. So
I gotta find some
now
time
I have to watch it. I know. Now I have to go watch it.
I gotta find some time to go see it.
I feel like the movie won't affect me in the same way that the book does.
No, probably not.
Because, yeah.
Maybe watch the movie, then go read the book and do your little,
I might have to do it that way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
I can't believe you haven't read it.
I know. I'm the worst.
You get a signed copy sitting on your bookshelf.
Personalized, too.
Stop! She made it out to Heather?
Yeah.
Go see the movie.
I know.
And then read that damn book on your shelf.
Well, I gotta see the movie first, and then I'll...
Yes.
Because that, I think, will affect me less emotionally.
Yeah.
I'll be able to handle that better and, like, continue to live my life.
Yes. Especially based on what we know about the book and the plot. Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
So, go support your local author.
Yes.
And everybody, let's have a good week next week. Let's hope the fog has lifted a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Get out of the sludge.
Get out of the sludge, and we will rock it out next week with more great content. So thanks for listening to our ramblings today.
Yes.